Hello, my old friend. It's almost time for my 100th video. Isn't that exciting? 100, that's pretty much how old you are in dog years, huh? Yes. It'll be very exciting, little one.
Hello, my friends, and welcome once again to stately Vaughan Manor. So, today is the big episode 100, my 100th video today, my 100th super spectacular. So today, we're going to be giving away books. I'm going to be answering questions, and I got a whole ton of packages in the mail today. Good timing. So, I'm going to be opening packages because everybody loves it when you open packages. So that's what I'm going to be doing today as well. Yes, you can barely contain yourself. It's so exciting. Oh, the fun. Okay. Well, I know we've had some booktubers out there that are anxiously awaiting who's going to get this pristine first edition hardcover copy of Dark Matter. Let's find out who gets Dark Matter. I've got the wheel all set up. The wheel right here. Yes, the wheel. Who will get... Boy, you could barely see because of the lighting in here. Oh well, I'll let you know who gets it. Okay, so 2 people are up here for old Blake Crouch and Dark Matter. We got Jeremy Fee and we got Van Gogh 1972. So somebody who comments on my videos, and the fantastic Jeremy Fee, who makes some of the best videos you'll ever see on the booktube. They're amazing. So let's see who gets it. Who gets Dark Matter? Jeremy Fee! Okay, Jeremy Fee. You lucky man. You get this fantastic copy of Dark Matter. The book that I gave a glowing review to, I'm shocked that only 2 people wanted it. But that's to your benefit, my friend Jeremy. So I'm going to leave my email in the comments down below. Send me, show me, or tell me where I should send this fantastic book to. Yeah, I will just set that there. Okay, next we've got John Carter. The John Carter Trilogy by Edgar Rice Burroughs. One of my very favorites. Let's see, who gets John Carter? So, we've got a few people who are up for this one. Jeremy Fee, again. Could he win again? William Fett. Tome Raider. Fantastic channel, Tome Raider. You should all watch Tome Raider. And David Wiley, the fantastic and brave David Wiley. David Wiley, who has accepted the Read Every Book by Challenge. Fantastic, David Wiley. So, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Who gets it? Who gets it? Tome Raider. Okay, Tome Raider. You just send me the address to that island of yours, and I will send this. She lives on some island somewhere. So, yeah, I'll send it to her. It'll swim across the ocean to you. We'll send it somehow. So, let's see what else we've got. The complete Sherlock Holmes. Big, fantastic, cloth-bound Sherlock Holmes in a case. This one is fantastic. I was surprised more people didn't go for this, but you know, not many people watch my videos. That's probably why. Let's see here. Someone's at the door. Hold on. Hi, guys. So, yes, I just got a visit from this fella. My friend Justin, the most dangerous man alive. We used to be gunfighters back in the Old West, my friend Justin and I. You can see this is us in our younger days. And it's cool that he just dropped by. He actually dropped by to drop off a little tiny Stephen King with a giant head. So when I do my Stephen King, my Read Every Book by Stephen King videos, I can take out Stephen King just in case I want to speak to him about some things in the books. So that's cool. I've got a tiny little Stephen King. that will join me in my reviews. And it's cool that Justin stopped by and dropped that off because he has a brand new booktube channel that just premiered this morning, which by this time will be yesterday. He just had his video just premiered yesterday, his first booktube video. His channel is This Just In. This Just In, and the fantastic thing, first of all, Justin's fantastic, and he's going to have a great channel. He did his newbie tag. That's his first video because we all have to do that. So you should check that out. I'll leave a link down below. And the fantastic thing is he is joining me in reading every book by Stephen King, if you can believe that. So it's pretty much the biggest read-along ever. Let me know if anyone would like to join along. But yes, Justin, from This Just In, if I could put the picture down, has a fantastic new channel, joining me on the Read Every Book by Stephen King challenge. It'll be fantastic. And where was I? We were giving away Sherlock Holmes. So let's continue right along and give away Sherlock Holmes. So who gets Sherlock Holmes? I've got Trish Bovell, AJ Dunn Reads and Writes, and Plagued by Visions. So who will get the big ol' Sherlock Holmes? Who will get it? It is AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. Okay, my friend AJ Dunn. Give me an email. Let me know where I should send this big sucker. I don't think you live on an island. I think this should just be able to be sent to you with the regular old mail. Let me know. So, one more book to give away before I answer a few questions, and that would be the most popular book, The Classic Horror Stories by H.P. Lovecraft. This is the hardcover Oxford edition. A few people wanted this one. Let's see. Who do we have for the Oxford Lovecraft? We've got Van Gogh, 1972. Susan Searles, Good Username, Deborah Johnson, and Bibliomac. Okay, who gets it? The cleverly named Good Username. Okay, Good Username, whoever you might be. Shoot me an email. Let me know where to send Classic Horror Stories, and I will send it along to you. In a couple days, I'll send it out. So just let me know on that one. So now it is time to answer some questions. I was kind of surprised that anybody had any questions for me, but I probably have some answers. Let's find out. I have to pull up where the questions were. Okay. AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. The lucky AJ Dunn. Are you a hoarder? No. No. It's not hoarding if it's books. And what does Lady Vaughan think of all these books you keep acquiring? Okay, I do acquire a few books. First of all, she would be horrified, the lady of the manor, if she knew she was being referred to as Lady Vaughan. We're not actually married, scandalous as that may be. But here's the thing, we've only been together about 22 years or something, and we don't want to rush things, you know? We want to take it slow and make sure everything's, you know, take it slow. So yeah, but she's not a Vaughan. What do you do? And she is horrified by every package that comes. She's horrified that I am acquiring more and more books. The lady of the manor. She doesn't understand that if it's books, it's not hoarding. What do you do? Okay. Gina Stanier Books. Fantastic booktube channel. Why is it always 6:45 at Stately Vaughan Manor? She's referring to that clock there. Well, here's the thing. Stately Vaughan Manor, is actually located in Pellucidar, which is in the center of the Earth. And there, as Edgar Rice Burroughs so carefully explained, there's no time. Time does not exist here, which is why I seem so young. That's actually not true. The clock just stopped, and I never got it fixed. And I do age. Actually, every time I look in the mirror, I feel like I'm looking at the picture of Dorian Gray. And please excuse the wretched creatures that live in the manor. We have a few wretched creatures, and one of them is really loud. It's like she doesn't even care that I'm making my 100th video. Okay. Let's see here. Bibliomac has a question. Are there any books that intimidate you? If so, what are they and why? No, I'm not intimidated by books. I think you might be referring to books that are like really long and really difficult. There are books I avoid because I think they might be boring. But difficulty doesn't bother me too much. I'm not really, if it's written in English, I'll probably understand it unless it's written by Faulkner. And then I probably won't understand it. But even his books I'm not intimidated by. I just would rather jump off a cliff than read any more of them. But, you know, that's just me. Let's see. Question from the Book Blather. Fantastic channel, Book Blather. Favorite novel of all time and favorite non-fiction book. One of those I think I've got lying around, or do I? Well, I do have it up here. Yes, favorite novel. Dracula. Dracula also happens to be the first book that I read. The first adult book that I read. I was pretty young when I read it. So yeah, Dracula. It has to be my favorite. My favorite single novel is Dracula. And my favorite non-fiction book would be the histories written by Herodotus. There is a little bit of fiction in there as well. But it is a non-fiction book, the histories. And that is my favorite. And I don't seem to have one at hand. I am ill prepared for that question. Okay. What else do we got here? Van Gogh, 1972, has a question. Have you had another YouTube channel, or do you do public speaking? You're a natural. Yes, of course that's true. I'm a natural what? I'm not sure what I am a natural at. But I have done some public speaking, but not really public, just work stuff. Yeah, but nothing major. And this is the only YouTube anything I've ever had is this ridiculous channel. They'll probably never let me do anything else after this one. Okay, Plagued by Visions, the fantastic Plagued by Visions. And the fantastic and disappointed Plagued by Visions. Did not get the Sherlock Holmes, but you know what? I'll set you up. You want some Sherlock Holmes? I'll send you some. You just let me know. Send me an email. I'll send you some Sherlock Holmes if you want some, because I've got plenty of it. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. What book, as in the physical object that you own, have you cherished, traveled with, or read the most throughout your life? There is an answer to this. Now, I don't have a ton of books from when I was a kid. Basically because I tore stuff up when I was a kid, but I do have this one. And this is 7 science fiction novels of H.G. Wells. You see I have my little child's signature in there from when I was a kid. Fantastic book. This was my stepfather's and I stole it from him. My stepfather was a very, very nice man and he let me steal it. He was a great guy, and a lot of my taste in fiction and other things were influenced by my stepfather. And yeah, he was a great person. So that's probably one of the reasons I cherish this so much, because it was from him. and also because it's just fantastic. It's got the Time Machine, War of the Worlds. I mean, timeless stories that are great when you're a kid. They're great when you're older. H.G. Wells is the best. So this is pretty beat up by now. But yeah, 7 science fiction novels. Definitely, that is the one from H.G. Wells. Okay, what do we got? Okay, DDB, a frequent commenter, DDB, fantastic commenter, who I hope will make a booktube channel one day. Okay, would you consider yourself a fast reader? How many books do you read in a week? I consider, whoa, I nearly fell off my stool. I don't consider myself a fast reader. I am probably a slightly better than average reader. That's it. I just dedicate as much spare time as I have to reading, which I don't have a ton of, unfortunately, at least during the week. So how many books do I read in a week? Man, I'm not one of these tubers who just reads 3,000 books in a week. And most of those are probably audiobooks. Cheating. If you can do dishes while absorbing a book, that doesn't count. Nothing against audiobooks, but man. So no, I probably go through about one a week on average. That's probably on average, unless it's super long, or if it's like a 300-page book, yeah, I can get through that in a week. If it's a 600-page book, a couple weeks. If it's a Malazan book, about half a year. So that's about the answer to that question. Okay, let's see. I got a couple more questions here. William Fett asks, what do you think of H. Rider Haggard? He's great. What are your, this is good username. The winner. What are your top 5 Lovecraft stories? They would be The Whisperer in the Darkness, followed by The Shadow over Innsmouth, followed At the Mountains of Madness, followed by The Call of Cthulhu, and then The Thing on the Doorstep. But most of his stories are really, really good. Okay. Let's see here. Revenant Reads, the fantastic Revenant Reads. Any nonfiction recommendations about the pulp magazines or about any of the older horror authors you've spotlighted? For horror authors, there are a couple places you can go. Go right to Lovecraft, first of all, for the older ones. Supernatural Horror in Literature, the essay by Lovecraft, Revenant Reads, check that out. Also, S.T. Joshi did a great study called The Weird Tale, which I don't have here. I got an ebook of that one. And let me grab this because I actually have a physical copy of this lying around. The Blood and Thunder Guide to Pulp Fiction by Ed Hulse. It's not really a history, but it's got the history in there. Just a guide of all these great pulp magazines. So if you've got an interest in this stuff, man, there's a bunch of good stuff in here. The Blood and Thunder Guide to Pulp Fiction. Not a ton of good stuff out there about pulp fiction, but no, there's something. What else do we have here? Here's another question about the clock. It's just broken. It's a broken clock. Okay. Jeremy Fee is wondering if I would read another Blake Crouch book after Dark Matter, Recursion specifically. Yeah, I'm up for that. I'm up for it. Why not? I'd read another Blake Crouch. Anything else? Let's see. Anne with a book has a couple questions. Where do you get your classics? And what are your favorite classic editions you own? And what are your recommendations for buying classic books? My recommendations for buying them as for editions. There's lots of different editions. So we got a couple lying right around here. Let's see here. What do I got here? First of all, unless you're super rich, I wouldn't go through, or just well off. If you're just a normal person, interested in reading classics, you can go the ebook route and get the free stuff. You could do that. I prefer to have editions with introductions and some scholarly matter in them. I just find that helpful. So the best editions for me, paperback wise, are Penguins. You guys know that. I do a Sunday Penguin every Sunday where I talk about this particular line of books. I love Penguins. Oxford has some great ones too. Oxford World's Classics. They're basically Oxford's version of the Penguin Classics, and they do an excellent job. But you can go cheaper than that. You can do the little Signet ones. I have a ton of Signet classics. They're great. Awesome little books. Or you can go really cheap and get the Wordsworth classics. These are cheapy, inexpensive. But yeah, they're cool. You'll find these lying around different places, depending on where you live. So I would go probably that route. If you want to get expensive classics, there are some different ones out there, a couple different hardcover lines. Everyman's Library has a hardcover line. Right? A modern library is what I'm thinking about. But Everyman's Library has one too. There are different routes you can go. Look around, see what you think you might be interested in, and do not be intimidated by giant books. I've got a couple of giant books lying around. See a book like this, War and Peace. Don't be intimidated by that. It's just War and Peace. So yeah. Any more questions? Let's see. Is there a book that you felt, this is Medium John Silver, is there a book that you felt midway was not worth finishing but turned out to have a great payoff in the end? Most books I read, I have pretty good... My neighbors, man. Most books I read tend to be pretty good. I haven't read too many that I felt like DNFing. There are a few, I guess, but those usually don't have a great payoff. But one that does come to mind is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which Gina Stanier got me to read, and I thought it was just average for most of the book, but man, did this book have a great payoff. It had a great payoff, which made it better. I actually read this book twice because it was fantastic. I did a whole video on that book. What else we got? Harry Flashman says, "Hi, Michael. I don't fancy any of the books you are giving away, or for that matter, any of the books you are planning to read. So if you could just send me the money, that would be best. Kind regards, your friend Harry." Darn you, Henry Flashman. What a rogue. Somebody should write a book about that guy. Let's see. Rainbow Sky Gay and Proud asks, first question, who are your favorite gay writers, both fiction writers and non-fiction writers? Second question, what do you like best about Algernon Blackwood? Third question, what do you like about H. Rider Haggard? Last question, what do you like about Steve? I'm assuming he's talking about Steve Donahue. I think, well, as far as gay writers, I don't read a lot of gay fiction written by gay writers. So I assume a lot of the writers I read are probably gay, because a lot of people are gay. I just don't know who they are, you know? A lot of the writers I read are pretty old, from the old-timey days. And in those days, very often you didn't want to come out and be gay. So you kept it quiet. So a lot of authors I read could be gay or could have been gay, and I just wouldn't know it. And as far as new books, it's the same. I mean, I don't, unless I overtly read somewhere that they're gay, I wouldn't know. So, hey, I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that question. I assume actually probably quite a few of them are. I just have no idea who they might be. Second question, what do you like about Algernon Blackwood? He's mysterious. He's a fantastic writer. He has tremendous atmosphere. He's just the quality of his writing is brilliant. Some of his ghost stories are just average, but when he hits it, when he does a really good story, it's really, really good. He did one of the best weird fiction stories of all time with The Willows. So he's great. What do you like about H. Rider Haggard? I like his sense of adventure. He has a tremendous sense of adventure. He has a quick and precise prose style that is very readable. So that's great. And Steve Donahue's the man. He is the ultimate booktuber. He knows so much about books that it's ridiculous. He's fantastic. I think he's great. He was one of the major, he was the major booktuber who inspired me to get into this in the first place. And he's a friendly, nice person. Any contact you have with him, he's great. He doesn't have a huge ego. He's just super smart, awesome guy. So that's what I like about Steve. Any other questions? That might be it, guys. Angelica351 asks, why are you such a snazzy dresser? I don't really know that I am that snazzy of a dresser. But you know, I want to look decent for the booktube. And what's your occupation? Well, oh my goodness, this video has really gone on pretty long. I better wrap this up. This is just part one of the videos. I'm going to do part two because I don't want it to be like an hour video. So I'm going to do part two, which is going to be the grand unwrapping of these packages. I'm going to do that next. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with me for part one. And if you're interested in a grand unboxing, check out part two.
Hey, Rhonda Jones, I forgot to answer the question about the pets. So we have, at the manor, 3 dogs. You're one of them. We have 3 cats, and we have 6 tortoises. So that's the answer to that question.